What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Jack 6 Nasty here. If you know whose truck this is, well, sucks to be you. But anyways, we're gonna start off this week's vlog. I'm gonna start vlogging. I say this every time. I'm actually gonna stick to it. So let's just get it started right now. It's like currently 3:30 something in the morning. Beautiful Monday. We're gonna get started off with a gym session and then dive right into work. So I'm gonna get to the gym and we'll see you guys in a minute. Alrighty, so we just got done working out and I'm starting off with one of my favorites, I guess I should say. Some rice, broccoli, steak. So gonna start my morning with that. I guess I know you guys want to know about 6 Nasty, so let's dive in on that project. So this is the current state right now of 6 Nasty, just chilling in the corner, as you guys have probably seen from TikToks and whatnot. I have got started on the seats. The seats are done and mounted. Basically, I just got to do some things for the seat belts, make sure they're actually secure. The ratchet shifter bracket is made, and the ratchet shifter's mounted. It's all set up right where I want it. But the interior is basically, you know, I don't like giving away any hints or secrets of what I'm doing. I like to make it, you know, a mystery, as well as I probably will not be posting, you know, most of the stuff with this truck. I don't even know if I'm going to post under the hood with what's going to be there after I'm done. I will say that I'm working on trying to talk with Warren and Kill Devil about getting a billet block, but it all depends on if they want to sell me one or if it's even ready. I know that Warren has one, but I don't know if they want to sell me one. So if I can't get that done in time, then I probably will just run another block. But this setup is what I would hope to be, you know, one of a kind. I mean, it really actually will be one of a kind, because it's going to be a bunch of different things from different trucks, different trans. I mean, stuff that not many people have, or not many 6-liters have, that are streetable. But I mean, basically for this, I'm only going to show you guys basically that. If, you know, I do show you anything, it won't be anything that you guys haven't seen from someone else. But I mean, that basically wraps it up for this truck on the channel, because I'm not going to be showing any more of it until it's completed and I do the reveal at a show coming in the spring. So that sums it up for that. Let's talk about Derek's 6-liter. So if you guys don't know, this is Derek's 6-liter. It was in here, I want to say, it was in the summer sometime, I can't remember, but we did a head stud job on it, new cylinder heads and a bunch of other stuff. Came back in here with a leak. So we determined that the leak was the high pressure oil pump cover in the back there. So we are taking that off. We never touched that when we did the head gaskets, because all we did was head gaskets, oil cooler, and turbo. What else we do? Wiring harness, some other stuff. So we got to get that taken off, get the new gasket on there, as well as just kind of look over everything, make sure everything's okay. And then also the O-rings on the breather here are leaking, so we're going to get new ones of those put on. And this engine harness, I just gave them, you know, half price for what a new one was. This was off my gray truck. There was nothing wrong with it until I found that there is no plug, because I'd cut it off because I didn't have one, for this back pressure sensor. So I'm gonna have to dig this apart and rewire in a new plug, so that way it actually has a back pressure sensor, because your back pressure sensor reads back pressure, which helps tell the VGT when to open and close. So that's an issue. So we got that going for his truck. He had some bad intercooler boots, so we got him brand new intercooler boots, as well as a bad AC condenser. And what else? Oh, we're gonna do a new intercooler too. So we got that stuff right here. We got a brand new AC condenser for him, as well as a CSF intercooler. So we're gonna be putting that in there, as well as this is all some old stuff, but the compressor housings at Powder Coat. Got a new intake, no limit fabrication at Powder Coat. Coolant reservoirs going to Powder Coat. all his piping. I think we are gonna actually take the valve covers off and send them to powder coat too while we gotta fix that one O-rings. So yeah, this truck is it's gonna look good now, and then just fix a couple things. He wanted to do an upgraded intercooler because I guess he took it to a shop in Kearney and they said that the intercooler was leaking. But yeah, these intercoolers, if you guys didn't know, are prone to blow out right here. They will separate, the O-ring will blow out, and they'll just enough push this out because it's plastic. It'll slowly push out and then leak. So yeah, that basically sums it up for this thing. We're gonna get him back on the road, get the oil leak fixed and whatnot, and that's about it for this truck. All right, so moving on, we have Steven's truck in here still. If you guys didn't know, we're just finishing it up. We had a couple issues, some small issues, had a Belleville spring issue. And so what happened there is we got it all set up right, got the trans in the truck, and for some odd reason, like what I used to like to do was I'd fill the truck up, say 16, 18 quarts, which is really close to full. And then I'd go test drive the truck and it would get an air bubble or something. I honestly couldn't tell you. But what would happen is it would like spike line pressure or something, and it would get so much pressure it would overextend the Belleville spring. And this was a Go-Ren Belleville spring. I think I still have it over here. But let me see. Actually, I think it's in this metal band. But what happened is it overextended the Belleville spring, and this is a Go-Ren built at Belleville. And I don't think anybody's seen this, but you can see here. You can see where it overextended, but it overextended this Belleville, smoked the forward clutches. And this not only happened to this trans, but it's happened to Ryan's like two or three other times, and couldn't figure it out. So I guess the science that I figured out is fill the truck up, like I say, 16, 18. Instead of test driving it, just putting it in gear and watching the pressure and waiting for the pressure to drop, because the pressure will drop off, and then keep filling it, just sitting here, not driving it, just keep filling it till it gets all the pressure built up, and then it doesn't drop on the gauge, which I check all my trans on a pressure gauge to make sure they're in spec before they leave the shop. So that's another weird thing, is I was checking the pressure before I left for a test drive, and it was good, but you have to sit there for a pretty long time, and you'll see the pressure drop off, and then that's when you refill it. So I want to say this thing took like 21 to 23 quarts, and Ryan's was like 26, but he also has a remote trans cooler in the back, so there's a lot of fluid, and the lines go all the way back to the truck. But so we got that issue figured out with his truck. I got him a new Belleville, got everything set up, make sure everything was good in spec. And then if you guys didn't know, I don't think I talked about this on YouTube, just only TikToks, but I will just show you guys kind of what we did to this truck. So we did a full detail for him on the inside of this thing. I have some videos I might insert depending on if they're good enough quality or not to see. I don't know, I'll probably insert them. But this thing was a complete mess. I mean, I did left the headliner because I'm sure we talked about doing suede and starlight, so I left it. But I mean, it was all basically, the whole truck was black from the previous owner. So we got everything cleaned up for him. We have our 48 swap ratchet mounted in there. It is very clean looking. And let me show you guys under the hood here. We're not completely done with this truck, so don't judge, but we did do a paint correction on it, as you guys can see. I'm very meticulous in my paint corrections, but this truck, I still gotta wipe some stuff down, but this truck obviously does not have perfect paint, so we did the best that we could do with the paint that it has. But I mean, it is very, very clear, and the light doesn't do justice with the flake in the paint, because sometimes it can look funky, but it is very clear. So we will come up here. I'll show you guys under the hood here. So before, he had a 467 second gen swap, and it was just basically a box turbo, no turbo blanket, had leaking drain line, had a blown head gasket. And so we talked, and originally this truck came in here just for a trans. It was just supposed to be a 48 swap because the 68 was junk. We're just gonna do a trans swap. Well, then he's like, hey, I think you got a head gasket issue. So we looked into that. Sure enough, has a head gasket issue. So took it down to the machine shop. He looked over the head. The head was cracked. So I talked to Steve and I was like, what's your plans with this truck? You know, you want a 1200 horse trans, you know, what's the plans? He's like, well, you know, I want to do like this size injectors and whatnot. And I was like, okay, well, I said, let's do a Freedom head. And he's like, all right. So we got a fleece Freedom head on there. It's got push rods, Hamilton push rods, stock cam, as well as now we have manifold studs and a Force Inductions 476 turbo on stock fuel right now. And we still have some cleaning up to do. I'm going to wire loom, you know, some stuff and clean up the whole engine bay because I'm very meticulous about my work. But, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, why does it take so long? You guys got to realize I'm one guy. Like, I do all this by myself, and I'm very meticulous about my work. Like, I'm not going to let something leave, you know, half-assed, per se. So, with that being said, we also did some powder coating. He did not have this before. He had a stock intake horn. So, we did a pusher-style intake horn. Got everything powder coated. It already had 625 head studs, so it has those obviously again, retorqued. And we also have a King Speed valve cover for him that is not on there yet. It is actually currently sitting right up here. But we had a catch can that we ordered, and I don't think it's going to work out because it didn't have the fittings that it needs. So, with that being said, I'm going to talk to my buddy Kevin and get the right catch can over at Full Send and get this thing wrapped up finally this week. And we also, if you guys can't see, we did a fleece coolant bypass on this thing. So, keep this thing cool, and I'll show you guys kind of under the truck. But he also later on is going to do 150% with a 12 mil stroker from Exergy. Exergy is a very well-known company. I think that they do very great work on their injectors and pumps, and that's who I'm going to be using on my next truck. But we got the 48 down here, deep pan. If you guys can see there, looks in all fancy. But that basically wraps it up for Steven's truck. Super clean. I think the only thing left to the exterior is I just need to get it all surface prepped with Adams. Oh, we got to change that belt too. He's got a squeaky belt. But get the whole truck surface prepped with Adams, and then get it ceramic coated, because I literally just finished this thing this weekend, but it is super clean for sure. So with that being said, with his truck, we're going to move on to the next truck in here, which is Tim O'Connor's. Alrighty, so don't mind the mess here. I'm working on another couple projects, but this is Tim O'Connor's truck. It is in here for a engine. It came in here with a knock, and we found that it had dropped a valve, smacked the piston. And so what we did is we went with an engine from Kill Devil Diesel. Not a fully built engine, but basically what they call a build-a-box. So we got this thing all torn down. It's been here since November. It took them forever to get the machine work done, but you know, I guess that's what happens when COVID hits or whatever. So we got a Kill Devil cylinder head for him with some valve springs, new head gasket. You know, I got to put the front cover on, all that jazz. We've already got the engine put together and torqued. Just got to finish this up. I'm going to work on this today. But super clean, nice, you know, kind of factory style build, I should say. We also got him a fleece Cheetah. This is a work truck, so we just went with a stage 1 Cheetah for him. And we're as well going to get some new tuning for him, get this thing set up right to tow. So this is one other build that I've been working on. Just a simple, nice, clean build. Get him back on the road here after this disaster of lead times. But I want to make sure it's right. I don't want to just throw it together with, you know, used parts or crap parts. I want to make sure that this thing is solid for him to be able to go on the road, travel anywhere he needs to go, and not have to worry about it having an issue. So the injectors are sent off to Exergy to get flow tested, make sure those are okay. And other than that, I mean, this thing is going to be ready to go this week. So you guys have to stay tuned on how it turns out. So moving back to the transmission bench, we have a 6R140 in here. So this 6R140 is basically torn down. Have to do some cleaning and whatnot, but it's all torn down. The valve body I took to the shop, completely smoked. It's just had so much metal gone through it that we're we're just gonna do a new valve body. So we got a new upgraded valve body from Warren Diesel Injection, as well as my boys at Suncoast hooked me up with their rebuild kit. That's what I like to use in all my transmission stuff builds is Suncoast. We got to build a flex plate for them. All new clutches. As you can see, this was basically all his clutches were like this. He literally, we could get it off the trailer barely, revving it up. He was like, yeah, I just kind of wanted to go till it blows. So we're going to get this thing wrapped up here this week, get it put back in his truck. I might do a little time lapse on the build for fun. I really actually enjoy, it's kind of soothing to me to build transmissions. It's very time consuming. You know, some people don't realize that, but it really is kind of nice just to sit back, build the transmission. You know, not many people can do it. It really is kind of a meticulous thing to do, but I really enjoy it. So moving forward, we have a 6.7 Cummins short block here, or no, sorry, long block. I'm not sure what's reusable. I only paid a couple $100 for it. So if I could get what I got into it out of it, that'd be great. You guys hit me up. It needs sleeved. That's the only issue. But here it is real quick. Obviously, it is just sitting here right now, but it needs sleeved. Cylinder number 6 has got some pretty bad damage from a stuck open injector. And then I got all these parts for it here. I'd only want probably $500 for it. That's what I got into it. So if you guys want it, hit me up on Instagram, DM me, give you all this goodies here, and get this out of my way. So moving back here further, we have my 6-liter motor that was supposed to go in my 6-liter, but I actually sold it to another guy because I want to do something kind of different. So I got him sold the heads. We were waiting on the cam. The cam finally showed up, I want to say Thursday or Friday, the cam, because he doesn't want to run the biggest cam as I was going to run. So we got to get the new cam in it, and then we can finally get that shipped out to him. Back here, we have the OBS 6.4. So if you guys didn't know, I bought a single cab frame. If you guys remember, I'll insert a picture here of my high school truck, my 96 7.3. And it's just been sitting. I tore it apart my senior year, and I was going to do all this builds and stuff, and then it just kind of got put on the back burner. I bought my 6-liter for a daily, and then I started molesting it, and the next thing you know, it's 6 nasty. So this project has been on the back burner. I do want to get to it, you know, sometime soon, but I've just been so busy. I sold a buddy of mine the injectors and turbo for it, so the injectors I still got to pull out. I'm going to probably try to do that tonight because I got to get them to him. But the turbos are just chilling right there. So this thing, yeah, I mean, I got a couple things. I'm going to do the full, I got taillights. I'm going to do the full swap. Everything's going to be basically a 6.4. So 6.4 dash, everything. And then I'm not going to give any more details on what's going to be the color or the inside or the frame or any of that stuff, but it's going to be one of a kind for sure, as well as the one-piece windows. If you guys don't know, you do now. Those things are amazing. I cannot stand the wing windows. This thing's also going to have some Duramax tow mirrors as well, so that'll be pretty cool. And I'll probably just do some 24-12s or 22x12s depending on the ride height, how it sits as well. Oh, I almost forgot, we do have a aluminum U-bumper. So that's going to look sweet. I really like the way those look on the front ends. But that basically sums it up for what we got going on this week, what I'm going to try to accomplish. We'll see how it goes, depending on, you know, if everything goes smoothly, for sure get it all done. But like I said, we're waiting on powder coat for Derek's. Stevens, it has a small leak on the intake horn, so we got him a new grid hitter delete, because I think it has something to do with cutting the grid heater out. So I just got him a brand new grid heater delete plate. So we'll get that slapped in the truck, get the valve cover done, his truck will be done, get this engine done, and the trans done. Yeah, we got a long week ahead of us. But stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys in the YouTube loop, and I will throw in some time lapses in this. So if you see the time lapses, you like them, You guys like this video? You know, you like seeing what I'm doing? You know, say I want to see more. Put that in the comments. I want to see more. I want to see more. And I'll start doing these, you know, all the time, you know, doing all this stuff. And maybe I'll even do some, you know, in-depth tutorials on some stuff to help you guys out. So let me know in the comments what you want to see. And we'll catch you in the next video. So peace.
This planet died.